Hey there friends, happy Saturday to you all and welcome to another Legally Armed America video. Guys, if you don't know, I'm Paul Glasgow and I'm here pretty much every day trying to give my own take, my own spin, my own angle on whatever news events are out there. There's a lot of people out there that provide Second Amendment and other news related channels and they're very good at disseminating that news. My whole goal here is to take topics that are front of mind, top of mind, and explain them a little bit, maybe dive a little bit deeper. Not going to have a super long video today. I've actually got my wife found some bone-in ribeyes at a ridiculously good price today. 6 massive bone-in, 3/4 inch to inch thick ribeyes for $62. 6 for $62. Yeah, and they're big. Nice size ribeyes. So anyway, about to go fire the grill up. Went to a little gun event earlier today and just wanted to hurry and get a video out there. I want to keep touching on a lot of the stuff that Doge is finding for a very specific reason. I don't want this stuff to go away. I don't want the Doge stuff, the corruption, the waste, the fraud that they're locating and finding to just get dismissed because the wackos on the far left are saying, oh, there's no proof of that. Well, there actually is proof. I mean, they can't put out Gary's social security number and show you specifically who he is. I wish they could, but they can't. So they can't show you the proof, but the politicians have proof. They act like they don't have it, but if they ask for it, they're going to get it. In fact, they're privy to that information no matter what. Obviously, every single bureaucratic agency in the federal government has been taken over by leftists. And when the government is taking over these bureaucracies, they're not just taking them over and saying, hey, this is who we want to vote for. They're embezzling money. I went to the SBA's website and this was an incredible headline, first of all, to even read. SBA highlights range of new measures to stop fraud. So these are new. Read the subtitle. Reforms will end loans to illegal aliens, children, and deceased. Read that again. Reforms will end loans to illegal aliens, children, and deceased. So we have to pass a rule to keep illegal people from getting taxpayer-funded loans in the United States. We have to pass a new law, a new rule, to keep kids from getting small business association loans. We're not talking about lemonade stands here. And we have to pass a law or a rule to keep dead people from getting awarded these loans. That's where we're at with these bureaucracies. A little bit further down, they explain it a little bit, talking about the key changes. Citizenship verification. Wow. The fact that we have to even talk about this is ridiculous, and it proves that there is a massive problem going on here, which, of course, the Biden administration was welcoming these people into our country with an open border. All SBA loan applications now include a citizenship verification provision to ensure only legal, eligible applicants can access SBA programs. Lenders are required to confirm that applicant businesses are not owned in whole or in part by an illegal alien, consistent with President Trump's executive order ending the taxpayer subsidization of open borders. See, it was determined that a company was receiving, I think it was $700 and something thousand in loans. And come to find out, one of the owners of it, 49% ownership, in fact, was an illegal alien. Yet they were going to get our money. Now, let me make this very clear. For those of you that might have stumbled across this video and you're left-leaning wackos, and you're thinking, oh, that's money that's automatically earmarked for people out there to grow their businesses. We should be happy that anybody wants to grow their business, even if they're a legal alien. That's our money. That's our money. That's not some magic pot of money sitting out there. That's money taken from us. Those of us who work, the legal people who are citizens in this country, those of us who work for a living. We've had this money taken out of our paychecks for decades. And it's going to people who are illegal aliens. And it might be some stupid little taco shop. So most of that $700,000 is not going to fund that taco van. It's going home. Their home. Mexico. The date of birth verification. That rule also. All SBA loan applications now, because they didn't before, include a process to verify applicant age and date of birth. This provision will mitigate fraud stemming from applicants using an identity other than their own, including those of children or the deceased. And finally, automatic fraud alerts. SBA's date of birth verification process will automatically flag an applicant claiming to be younger than 18 or older than 115 years of age. How many entrepreneurs do you know who are getting that second wind at 115 years of age and applying for a small business loan? I'm almost thinking that there should be a flag that goes off when somebody's 70 years old. I'm not saying that 70-year-old's not capable of running a business. Some are, some aren't. Some are like Joe Biden. They can't figure out how the corn got in their diaper. And some are like Donald Trump. So clearly, all 70-year-olds are not the same. But I have very little confidence even that 115-year-olds should be getting these SBA loans. Now, I want to point something out. Let's talk about something real quick, because I think this is really important. I want to make sure that people understand that this is not, how can I frame this? Because I don't want to appear unfair when I say this. But you have to understand the people who are getting mad about this stuff. You notice how it's only people on the left who are getting mad about this? Now, let's be really clear. I'm going to be totally, honest with you. I know there's people on the right who are getting some of this money. I know there is. I don't think any of us, I hope none of us, will sit here and say that when you draw a line right down the middle, everybody on the left is bad and everybody on the right is good. Remember, we had Mitch McConnell in there. He's still in there now, but as leader of the Senate for a long time. That's a corrupt son of a, you know what I'm going to say. Got plenty of other Republicans out there. Plenty. Just as corrupt. In on all this stuff too. But I want to explain something to you. These things didn't happen by accident. Have you, if you're a conservative person, or let's just say you're a fair-minded person, have you ever had somebody call you and say, "Hey, Paul, we accidentally awarded you $700 million because we have a bad SBA loan for an 11-year-old, and it's in your name. Whoopsie daisy." No, see, somebody initiated all this fraud. This is not a keystroke error. Somebody initiated the loan for an 11-year-old, the loan for a 115-year-old. All of these bogus things out there, somebody initiated that. You know who those people are? This is probably you and I both, we feel the same way. This is what enrages me. Nobody ever gets in trouble for this. We know there's fraud. How many times do we see Elon and Doge and everybody else list countless issues of fraud? Have you seen one person get in trouble? Have you seen one person arrested? Have you seen anybody questioned over the fraud? All we see is people getting mad about it. How come nobody ever gets in trouble? How is it ever going to stop if nobody ever gets locked up? These are toothless rules and laws that they're putting in place if nobody's going to enforce it. And I'm going to say this, and I mean this, make an example out of somebody. Absolutely make an example out of someone. Perp walk their asses down the aisle in church if you have to, and at work. But make an example out of them. Shame the F out of them. Shame them. Let people realize, oh my God, I don't want that to happen to me. You know why these people are so emboldened to even apply for loans for an 11-year-old and a 150-year-old person? You know why they come up with the idea and they do that? You know why? Because politicians, not talking about Republicans or Democrats, I'm talking about politicians, somebody with stroke has made them feel like, I got your back. They may not say that. They may not come right out and say it. But somebody is given the implication, even if it's just through signaling of somehow, even if it's just through a passing conversation, that, oh, some people are getting $700,000 for 11-year-olds. And you got people sitting back there going, that's a congressman telling me that. And he winked at me. These people are doing this because they have cover. Do you ever think to do something like that? I know I never have. The thought has never crossed my mind to be corrupt and to steal $700,000 and say it's in the name of an 11-year-old or a 150-year-old. I've never thought about that. I bet most of you have never thought like that. If you did think like that, what's the next thing you would think of? I got too much to lose. If I defraud the federal government of anything, a $10 check, if you don't claim $10 in taxes, the federal government is going to come after you via the IRS. We know that there are consequences, and we know that we would be made examples of if something happened like this. There are people out there initiating all this fraud because they feel like, and they very well might, have full-blown cover and protection from somebody that they have a loose affiliation with, meaning a politician. That's why they're doing this. If these politicians were not corrupt, you wouldn't see this level of corruption. And I'm not saying they're all directly attached to it. What I'm saying is they will give approval for that. Let's say a politician's wife has a coffee shop. Somebody gets a $700,000 loan for an 11-year-old, so they have a lot of extra free money. Guess whose coffee shop is going to always be taken care of? Maybe even will look the other way because, we had trash out in front of your door last week and we didn't clean it up fast enough, so we're going to credit you 3 months worth of rent, 3 months worth of lease. There are ways to give favors, kickbacks, and monetary rewards without it being on paper. I've seen it happen. So I know these politicians partake in that kind of stuff. And that's the problem. A lot of this either can't be traced back, or when it gets traced back, they are politicians. And because somebody has to initiate whatever to these politicians, let's say a Mitch McConnell. If you got a Mitch McConnell who's been partaking in all of this and he gets busted, then he gets reported, I guess, to the speaker, or to the leader of the Senate now, Thune. Well, Thune's probably getting something, some kind of loose dotted line worth of money, benefits to friends, family members, or somebody else, or maybe even directly to him down the line. So when that gets reported, when McConnell gets reported to Thune, Thune's like, yeah, we're going to provide disciplinary action to you. Wink. Nothing ever happens. That's the problem. Nobody's held to account. Until we start seeing somebody held to account, this whole reporting process of all this money that they're uncovering, Doge is uncovering. I do believe they're uncovering it, but nothing's happening. This, at some point, is going to lose its effect on the American people. You and I keep seeing this. At first, what were we doing? We're celebrating. Yay! We knew that they were stealing money from us. They finally are catching them. Have you heard anybody being held to account? I haven't. It's going to start losing its effect on us, and we're going to stop caring before too long. They better do something with these people. I have dwindling confidence on a daily, sometimes hourly level of Pam Bondi, because the DOJ should have way more work than they would ever need right now, and I don't hear about them doing anything that needs to be done to hold people to account for the waste, fraud, abuse, and just outright theft that they're bragging about uncovering on a daily basis. I'm talking to you, Pam Bondi.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. It's over.